In the video links that you have, there's two different things. You have some videos from a Pastor Renfro and then a Pastor Hamilton. They're both very, very well known United Methodist pastors. One is for leaving, and one is for staying. And they have discussions about each other. Please understand that these conversations are not a battle. It's not uh, a debate type format. They're just strictly giving out information, and I think that's important. But I think it's also important for you to know and understand where your pastor is coming from. As your pastor, as an elder in the United Methodist Church, I am hurt. I'm seeing friends of mine that are leaving United Methodist Church. I'm seeing friends of mine staying in United Methodist Church. But what I've seen over the last 8 years of being inside this United Methodist Church as a clergy person is arguing, nonstop arguing about certain social issues, certain other things. And what has not happened is us focusing on the mission at hand. We say that we're about making disciples for the transformation of the world, but until we get over this, we can't get there. I personally would love to disaffiliate. I personally think that's the right direction. In November, we ordained new bishops. Other bishops left. The bishops that all came in were all progressive. There's a certain sense and in a direction that the theologically conservative people will not have a place anymore. I can't say that with any certainty, but what I can share with you is that there is a lot of push for the progressive people to start taking over. All the bishops that were elected were progressive bishops. That'll be a continued transition as that continues to keep happening in our church. And the sermon that you have before you in this email as well too that I preached in early December talks about one of those bishops that just says maybe we don't all need to agree on who Jesus is. And I disagree strongly with that. It's not our bishop. Our bishop, Bishop Palmer, is great. He's never said anything like that. But we do have to. We do have to agree on who Jesus is. Some of the work we have not done at this church and other United Methodist churches is define who we are. My hope and my prayers is through this process of potentially disaffiliating, we find out who we truly are. We're a unique church. Your sanctuary is unique. You have EUB people together with Methodist people, with Presbyterians, and there's a theological spectrum that happens in that that's fascinating to me, and we can talk about that at a different time. But that's why the sanctuary looks like it does. It's uniquely different, but we don't fit in here anymore. We don't fit the direction that the United Methodist Church is going. We don't agree with the fact that we don't own our own building anymore. We never did. We pay insurance on a $2 million property that we don't own, but you guys paid for. We also pay apportionments of $25 now to $27,000 a year to a conference that's moving to become more and more progressive. And as these things start to transition, I do believe that in the beginning that there will be positions and places for those that are conservative or traditional in beliefs. But that transition will not stay long. That is the trajectory that we're on. Cannot guarantee it, but that's the trajectory that we're on. I personally would love for us to transition into a new place, into a new life and a new beginning, to start having some theologically deep conversations. Right now, I don't confidently think that we could put on our website, these are the core beliefs of Delta United Methodist Church, and that we would all agree on that. And that's okay. That's an okay place to be. But the reason why we're in that position is because we've never been challenged to have those conversations. Churches that have those have been challenged to have those conversations. Those churches are not Methodist congregations. They don't have the appointment process that we have. In our appointment process, Dawn preached, and then I preached the next Sunday. That's our appointment process. Our leadership fills out a form. Once they fill out that form, it goes to district superintendent. It says these are the types of people we're looking for in a pastor. Now, over the last two appointments, I'm not 100% sure that those things were listened to. I'm not sure exactly what was written on those pages, but you got the pastors that you got. I know that I found out that Dawn was leaving, and I volunteered to come here and wanted to come here. And they gave me another offer to another church, and I declined it. I want to be here. I want to be part of this congregation. I want to have these deep theological conversations so that way we can state what we believe, post those on our website, know who we are as a church. So that way, when we go and we do the great things that we're already doing in this community, we do them together on one accord, on one beat, one sound, one voice, and we know who we are as the people that attend this congregation. As your pastor, like I've said, I'm pushing for us to become a different church, a new church, to do what we already are doing, to carry that great light and that beacon in this community. I get a smile on my face every time when somebody asks, "Oh, where are you pastor of?" Oh, I get to be the pastor of the Methodist church down the road. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. They've got the fish fry, or they have this person that go there, or this, that, or the other thing. It is truly an honor and privilege to be a part of this church. I've had conversations with other pastors in town, and they'll talk about their church, and they might complain about this or be excited about that. I'll tell you, I don't complain about anything here. This is a great congregation with great people ready to serve and to love their neighbor. And until we become unified in what we believe, we can't do that together. So through this process, my prayer is that we work through this disaffiliation, we do this hard work, and at the very end, when it's all said and done, we all know who we are, and we can all move together forward in the right direction. We'll own our building. We'll be able to give money, give resources, to donate time and all that other great stuff to the things that we believe God is calling us to do. To not give an enormous amount of money in apportionments and not know exactly what's happening to it. To be held accountable in different ways and in new ways. The newness that is coming will be with some heartache. And those that choose to vote in a different direction, and if we decide to disaffiliate and they decide to leave, it'll be hard. But I know Christ will be with us. And I know that if we decide to stay, that I know Christ will still be with us as well too. And that'll be hard. And there'll be some people that'll choose to leave as well too. My prayer for us today is that when we come together on the 29th and we listen to two different people speak for why we should stay and why we should go, and as you look at these videos, that you start to formulate some of your own questions, come and hang out with us, have these open conversations, and we can continue to move together as a congregation. My hope and prayer is that at the end of the day, that we are united in our faith and in our beliefs because God has led us through this time of having these hard and difficult conversations. Congregation, I'm excited. God is doing great things, and I can't wait to see what else God has for us.